Okay, I think we can kick off. Yes, thanks everyone for joining today. Today we're doing a joint partner series webinar with ReferralCandy and Raúl. And we're going to talk about turning your Black Friday customers into brand ambassadors. So just a bit about Raúl. He's the partner manager at ReferralCandy. He's been working in the tech sector for the last 7 years, and he regularly writes about marketing, e-commerce, and tech. And ReferralCandy is one of the top referral marketing apps, not just Shopify, but across the e-commerce space. And it can be integrated with a custom platform and many of the top platforms like BigCommerce. So just what we're going to be going over today is I'll quickly give an overview of who we are, just in 1 minute, for people that haven't heard about SmartrMail before. And then we'll get into the bulk of the presentation, which will be done by Raúl, then followed by Q&A, and then I'll just have some closing notes at the end and an offer as well. So SmartrMail is the easiest way to send emails that delight your customers and get more sales. 7 years ago, our two founders started Blue Thumb, which is Australia's largest online art gallery. And at the time, tools like MailChimp didn't really do what you needed to do for e-commerce email marketing. And the tools that were available, like Imarsis, were very enterprise level. They didn't give you you didn't really have the budget, the skills, or the time to use it. So out of that, SmartrMail was born. And with a real focus on personalization and sending the relevant products to the right customers. So a bit more or a bit less of this, which is an email from Levi's. I shop for jeans at Levi's every year. And even though I live in Melbourne, I'm never going to be hip enough to wear wide jeans like this. But I will shop at a store that sends me emails like this, which is Dan Murphy's, which is our bottle-o or liquor store. And yeah, they are sending me items that I've ordered before, and I'm likely to order again. So that's enough of me and SmartrMail. We'll go into the webinar today, and that's hosted by Raúl. So yeah, I'll give it over to you, Raúl.
Hello. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, we can hear you.
Cool. Let me just share my screen real quick. Okay, let me know if you can see it.
Yep, we can see it.
Cool. So yeah, first of all, thank you to Josh and everybody from the SmartrMail team for inviting me today. It's a pleasure for me to be here. So today we're going to talk about post Black Friday. So there's a lot of content out there about how to prepare for Black Friday. You know what merchants should be doing to get ready for the busiest time of the season. Sorry, the busiest time of the year. But I feel like, at least in my opinion, I feel like there isn't enough content about what should happen after Black Friday. So the reality is that Black Friday is the time where you're going to acquire a lot of customers in a very short period of time. And I think it's very important to have kind of like a post-purchase plan for those new customers. Like what's going to happen with those new customers after they leave your site, after they make that first purchase. And one of those strategies, in my opinion, is to turn them into brand ambassadors. So and turn them into somebody that's so happy with your product that they're going to be happy to not just to come back and buy from you again, but also to talk to their friends and family about it and basically become part of your marketing team, which is an ideal scenario. So just very briefly, about myself. So yeah, I'm a department manager at ReferralCandy. And for those of you who don't know ReferralCandy, we are a referral marketing app. As Josh mentioned, the way it works is very simple. So we give each one of your customers a unique referral link. They share that link with their friends. The friends click on the referral link, they make a purchase, and then the customer that made the recommendation in the first place gets rewarded. So it's very, very simple. It's also simple for merchants to get started. So there's really 3 steps that you have to follow in order to launch your referral program. So the first one is to set up your rewards, like what you want to offer your customers and their friends in order to be part of the referral program. The second step is to set up your theme. So if you don't have a designer or really don't want to spend a lot of time customizing emails and pages, you can just upload a logo and a banner, and we literally do the rest. And then once everything is set up, all you have to do is promote, which is basically letting your customers know that, hey, there's a referral program that you can benefit from, and kind of like making it easier for them to sign up. Yeah, and also obviously for those of you who are watching today, so we're gonna extend the trial to 60 days, and we will give some details at the end of the webinar on how you can use this offer. Okay, so these are the areas that we're going to cover today. So the first one is how to turn your customers into brand advocates. The second one is how to create a community around your brand. So community marketing has been around for a few years now, but I think it's probably one of the most interesting long-term strategies for brands. So we're going to touch on that, and then we'll dive into the Q&A session at the end. So I wanted to start with this. So this is a tweet from the CTO of Shopify back in the 16th of April of this year, which feels like a decade ago, but it's still pretty relevant today. So he said, as we help thousands of businesses to move online, our platform is now handling Black Friday level traffic every day. It won't be long before traffic has doubled or more. And this is the graph. I haven't really been able to see or to find a graph like this that's updated. So obviously you can see it stops on April 16. I would love to see how this graph looks like right now. And if anybody has access to an updated version of this graph, I would love to see it. But basically, this comes to tell us that Shopify was registering Black Friday traffic levels in April, which it makes me think that if anything, it's going to be double that at this time of the year. And so what this comes to show us is that this is going to be, obviously Black Friday is always the Black Friday, Cyber Monday, the holidays in general are always the busiest season of the year in terms of shopping. This year is going to be even more, in my opinion, because of two reasons. I don't want to be the one making a prediction in 2020 because they're not really going well, but I'll make my prediction is that there's going to be more people that are going to buy for the first time that never bought online before, or at least it was like it's a fraction of their shopping happened online. Now it's going to be probably the bulk of their shopping is going to happen online. And then the second reason, in my opinion, is that customers that or people that made kind of like a mix between offline and online purchases for this time of the year, now they're probably going to go 100% online, obviously due to the situation that we're having. So again, you're going to acquire a lot of customers in this holiday season. So we're going to talk about how you can turn these customers into brand advocates. So how you can turn them into basically part of your marketing team. And this whole thing starts, in my opinion, with what I call the customer retention and referral cycle. This kind of gives you a framework on basically how brand advocacy works and kind of like what should be the strategy behind it. So obviously it all starts with a purchase. So if you have a good product, if you have a good overall purchasing experience, and overall you're able to achieve customer satisfaction, which means that even if something went wrong during the purchase experience for the customer, your customer support team was ready to jump in and fix it for them. You're going to organically going to start receiving recurring purchases. So this is something that you're probably already seeing on your website, that you're seeing customers that are just coming back to your store without really having to do any sort of active campaigns to bring them back. And then you're also going to organically achieve referrals. So these are the things that happen organically if you have, again, a good product, good experience, overall customer satisfaction. People are going to talk to their friends and family about the purchases they've made. They're going to be able to kind of like showcase your product to them. So all these things happen organically. Now, there are incentives that you can implement at several stages of this cycle to incentivize recurrent purchases and incentivize referrals. But the point what I want to get with this is, if you don't have a good product, if you don't have a good shopping experience, and overall your customers are not happy buying from you, there's really no incentive that you can implement to get customers to come back or get customers to refer their friends or recommend something to their friends and family if it's not going to be good for them. So what I basically want to kind of like get with this is that sure, it's good to talk about incentives for kind of like brand advocacy and make sure that your customers are coming back and they're talking about your product, but this has to be part of an overall customer-centric strategy. And once you do that, once you achieve that, once you have a good product, you have a good shopping experience, your customers are happy with their product and they're talking to their friends and family about it, you can start working on different strategies, different incentives to get them to talk more about their friends and also to come back. So this is one of our customers. It's called Baron Fig. They sell kind of like a wide range of productivity tools. And so they have a very simple referral program, as you can see. So it's get $10 off your next purchase for every friend that you refer. And the friends also get $10 off their first purchase. So it's very, very simple. But if you go to their website where I got this from, they have a note from the team that, in my opinion, explains perfectly what a referral program is, and it kind of explains the reason why they're doing this. I wanted to focus on one particular paragraph, which says a referral program helps us spread the word, and it gives you a reward as a thank you for supporting us. If each one of our customers refer just one person, it will make a major impact on our small studio. Instead of spending money on advertising, we'll rather give the money to you. Any help is tremendously appreciated, and we hope you continue to enjoy the products we make. Now, this sentence here that says, instead of spending money on advertising, we'll rather give the money to you, to me, that's probably one of the most important. That's a very, very good way of explaining what a referral program is. This is a merchant that's realizing that there's really no better marketing than a customer talking to their friends and family about a product. And so it's like, well, it's, instead of spending money on Google and Facebook ads, why we just, why don't we just give the money to you, our customer that already loves our product? So I feel like this is probably a really, really good explanation on how merchants should approach a referral program and how they should approach incentives for both customer retention and also for customer acquisition from referrals. This is another example of a customer that, in my opinion, it's doing very well in terms of adjusting their rewards to basically the customer's purchasing behavior. And so this is a subscription business for t-shirts. So it's actually pretty cool because every month they release a new t-shirt. And those who are subscribed at that time will get it, but that t-shirt will never go, will never be sold again. So, you basically every month they're releasing kind of like a limited edition of t-shirts. And the referral program adjusts perfectly to their customers' purchasing behavior. So for every friend that you refer, you get a free renewal. And also for the friends, they're giving them 50% off. So this comes to tell me that they're so sure that their product is good. They're so sure that their customers are going to love the product and they're going to love kind of like the overall shopping experience, that they're willing to say, look, we'll give you a free t-shirt for every friend that you refer. And also we're going to make it so easy for your friends to just try it out for the first month, because we're going to give them 50% off. So they're going to be able to get a t-shirt for half the price. And we're so sure that they're going to stick with us that, we're willing to basically lose like 1.5 subscriptions to acquire a new customer. And so this comes to tell you to tell you that they understand perfectly what's the kind of like their customer satisfaction situation, and at the same time, as well as Baron Fig, they understand that there's probably no better marketing than putting money on their customers, in this case on their subscriptions, to acquire new ones. The second step that I wanted to cover today, and Josh, I don't know if I'm running, if I run out of time or something, please let me know and kind of speed up a little bit. But the second point, yeah. So the second point I wanted to talk about today is creating a community around your brand. So this is a long-term strategy, and this is why I wanted to put this on a kind of post Black Friday type of aspect, because this is not something that you can come up with and kind of like implement in a couple of weeks. This is something that it kind of compounds over time, but it's a long-term strategy. And it's basically telling your customers that you're more than just your product. There's something that you stand for, and there's something also that all your customers share. There's something that all your customers have in common. So if you're selling basketball equipment or basketball shoes, there's one thing that all your customers have in common, is that they love basketball. So why not creating a community around basketball, so where people can talk about things that they love? And obviously it will be under the umbrella of your brand, but without making it too too obvious that it's a promotional, obviously it's a promotional thing. They'll be able to kind of share with each other, and they will be sharing experiences and their thoughts under your umbrella. So there's a couple of examples that I wanted to bring today. So this one's called A Box of Stories. They're one of our customers from the UK. It's a subscription business for books. So every month you get a box with 4 books that you probably haven't heard of or probably don't know about, but that according to what you like, it's likely that you end up liking them. And so they have on their website, obviously, as you can imagine, they're competing with companies like Amazon, like Book Depository. So they're giants in the book industry. But they have a page on their website it's called Our Mission, and there they explain why they started the company, why they do what they're doing, and why do they believe that what they're offering it's valuable for their customer. And it also kind of like gives you a little bit of background about the company. So hey, there's people behind this company. There's real humans that are selling you books, and we're doing it for a reason. And one of the things that they've done is that they've created this Facebook group. It's basically a book group on Facebook with almost 4,000 members. And as you can see in the description, it's basically it's basically a group about books. So it's not necessarily about, hey, talk about your latest subscription box. Like, what do you think about the books that you got? It's not really about that. It's more about, hey, what are you reading now? Like, what are your thoughts on the book that you're currently reading, commenting on other people's description of books that they're reading, and kind of like creating a conversation about reading. And if you read the description, that's exactly how it is. So they're able to find one thing that all their customers share, and all the customers have in common, and obviously take it from there to be able to create a community of customers around it. We recently interviewed them, and they said, people are now creating content about us and posting on YouTube and on Instagram with the referral links, and it's helping us drive word of mouth. One of our customers even posted her referral code on her blog. We love it. So yeah, this is something that kind of came up organically after they were able to put the structure in place, which in this case is the community, to be able to get people excited about being part of the community and being able to kind of like share with their friends. And once you realize that your brand's more than your product and there's something extra, you're going to make it also easier for your customers to talk about your brand. And this next example that I'm bringing, it's one of my favorite examples of companies creating a community successfully and making it super easy for their customers to share about the brand. So this is called Matter Prints. They're a company from Singapore. They operate in the clothing industry, and what they do is that they work with manufacturers, especially in remote parts of India, and so they don't believe, the Matter Prints don't believe in kind of like the fast fashion concept. And so they kind of want to go back to a time where clothes were actually good and lasted for a long time. Like that doesn't really happen anymore. So they want to sell clothes that were manufactured in the kind of like the old fashioned way, and that, they last. And also at the same time, you're making an impact on a community of creators. And so when you kind of like create so much background about something so simple at the end of the day, which is, it could be a dress, for example, when you add so much content and also context behind your clothes, whenever somebody asks, hey, where do you get that? Hey, where do you get that dress? The answer is not going to be, oh, I got it online, or, oh, I got it on a website, I'll send you the link. It's more like, oh, I got it from Matter Prints. And actually, this is something that was manufactured in India by a community of artisans, and it's actually using a traditional manufacturing method, etc. So there's a lot more to that. And people that buy from Matter and people that talk about Matter all believe in, that the fact that fast fashion is something that's kind of destroying the planet, and something that we should really, reconsider our kind of like purchasing behavior. And we also interviewed the founder of Matter, and she said, yeah, when someone buys a Matter piece and talks about it to a friend, feels special when they wear it and shares the story with a stranger. That's impact, and those relationships matter. And it's all about creating relationships and putting the structure in place so those relationships happen. Okay, so just a summary before we go into the Q&A session. So first of all, customer retention and customer advocacy. So basically getting your customers to come back to your store and talk to their friends and family about your brand must be part of a wider customer-centric strategy. So think about the referral cycle that we were talking about at the beginning. You should adjust your incentives based on your customers' purchasing behavior. So if you're gonna work on incentives to get your customers to let's say talk to their friends and family about it. If you're selling a product that, for example, it's not something that they're going to buy on a regular basis, maybe don't offer them a discount because they're probably never going to be able to use it. Instead, offer them some sort of gift or a cash reward. But keep that in mind that your customers are actually going to be able to use your reward. And then finally, when we're talking about community marketing, so your brand is more than just a product. Your customers have something in common, so let them share it. Put the tools, put the structure in place, so your customers can talk about the things they love. All right, so I think we're gonna head out on the Q&A session.
Great. Yeah, that was really good. Thanks, Raúl. I really liked the Baron Fig example. It was a really compelling copy, I thought. Yeah, so there's a Q&A section on Zoom. So you could ask, if anybody has any questions, they can ask it there, or you can also ask in the chat and we can pull the questions from there. So yeah, ask away.
Yep. And in the meantime, something I kind of wanted to share at the beginning. So yeah, we're offering an extended trial on ReferralCandy. So that's my email. If any of you guys want to use ReferralCandy, I'll personally extend your trial to 60 days. So yeah, feel free to email me about it.
Great. Okay, we got one. Do you have any tips on how best to spread awareness of your referral program when you're first getting started?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So there's again, it's also a strategy. So there's a few things that you can do about it. The one that we typically recommend is to basically two parts. So one of them is to let your past customers know that there is a referral program. So let's say that you've been operating for a year and you're just getting started with your referral program. Your past customers might not know, obviously, that you've launched this. So create some sort of campaign to let them know. It's like, hey, we've launched this referral program. Here's how you can benefit from it, and here's how you can get your unique referral link. So yeah, letting past customers know. And then the second one is to create some sort of post-purchase kind of like email flow. So you can do it inside of ReferralCandy. We typically recommend to send a referral email after a certain period of time in which your customer has been able to receive the product and use it. So if you have, let's say like a 10-day shipping, and then you expect that your customers are gonna take like additional couple of days to use your product, I would wait 12 14 days after the purchase, and then hit them with an email that says, hey, how was my product, how do you like that, here's how you can refer your friends. Some of the customers decide to send the post-purchase email right after the purchase. That also works too. I think it's probably worth optimizing if you're kind of like waiting that period of time in which your customers are going to be able to actually use it, and then being able to refer. And then also kind of like a third option to create awareness. It's to do what Baron Fig does, for example. So if you go on their website, you'll see that at the top bar, I think it says get $10, and it's a really simple call to action that really calls your attention because it says get $10. So you're curious to click on what's going to get me $10. So something along those lines, that typically but people get curious about it and just and they click and they learn more about it that way.
Cool, great. Yeah, there's one more question. Are there any good options apart from Facebook groups to start building a community?
Oh yeah, I mean, there's tons of options, and I think it's really depends on where your customers gather anyway. So we've seen that customers that have been able to create a community even with just an Instagram profile, and kind of like just the comment section. If you go on the comment section, there are really discussions happening there. So there's really no one perfect way that works for you. Some other companies have some sort of like online forum. Yeah, it really depends on the brand. Some companies kind of decide to host it inside of their on their own website, on their own platform. There are Slack communities too, and I mean I'm part of a lot of them. Just I would say just go where your customers are. And for example, for tech companies, it probably makes more sense to create Slack communities. So that's probably why there's so many of them. But yeah, if your customer's demographic makes you think that they're going to be on Facebook, create on Facebook. Otherwise, yeah, find ways to interact with them, and for them to interact with each other on the platform. But yeah, there's no one kind of like one size fits all here.
Great. Yeah, we'll do one more question from Susan. How would you go about starting a community Facebook page to get your customers and future customers, or just people in general, to talk and add their stories?
Yeah, that's another really good question. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's always hard at the beginning to get people excited to kind of like talk in a group when it's kind of small still. At the end of the day, what you gotta realize is that it's not a group for your customers. It's a group about a topic. So sure, you're not gonna have to invite your customers, but you're gonna have to also find ways to get people that are interested in those in that particular topic to join. So the example that I was sharing before about a box of stories. I don't know exactly what strategy they followed, but at the end of the day, if you're able to promote this community in other places where people usually talk about books, you're going to be able to find people to join the community. Again, the goal is not to get your customers there. The goal is to get people that love that particular topic to join. The other example that I was mentioning at the beginning, if you have a community about basketball, go where basketball fans are hanging around and let them know about this community. Obviously, inviting your customers to join, it's one thing. Also, you can make the community, the Facebook group open, so anybody can join. It can also start with your own friends. So if you have friends that love reading, and you can ask them to join the group, and they can ask their friends. I mean, there's obviously a little bit of it has to be a little bit of a pool at the beginning to get things started, and it also requires work on your end to make sure that people are interacting with each other, and there's kind of topics to talk about. But it got to the point, I remember talking to a merchant a couple of years ago, where their community was so active that at some point it was even replacing their kind of like their customer support, their sales team. Like people would join the Facebook group, and they will ask questions about the product, and people would jump in to basically do like product demos and talk to potential customers about why they should get that product. So it was really amazing. They were really doing sales work and marketing work for this company, but obviously it takes time. But yeah, I would say that obviously invite your customers, invite your friends, ask your friends to invite their friends, and also just go hang out where people that might like your product, or people that might like this community, and promote it there.
Great. Yeah, there's one more. Do you start the Facebook page under your business name?
Yeah,
I can answer. You can go. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I mean, yes, but don't make it. In my opinion, the ones that I've seen that work really well, don't make it super obvious that it's hosted by a brand. So actually, the example of a box of stories. Let me go back real quick. Sure, they have. Yeah, see, they have it here on the top banner, but they don't make it super obvious in the title that it's about a box of stories. They also make it super obvious in the kind of like about section. So yeah, start under your name, because at the end of the day, the goal is to get people to find your business, but don't make it super obvious to the point that people are going to be like, oh, it's just they're going to try to sell me something. That's not the idea.
Right. Yeah, I'll add a little bit to that. I think, yeah, just start something too, and even if it's small at the start and you don't really have much engagement, just keep at it. George, one of our founders, had also started an online art gallery called Blue Thumb that I mentioned earlier, and that had a Facebook group for their artists that at the start maybe didn't have so much engagement, but now it's a huge channel for them, not even just to get new artists, but to encourage their existing artists to paint more and get more art online. And it's almost a full-time job with all the constant moderation there. So don't be discouraged at the start. Just start something, and you could see what happens. You might not even know what it's for at the start, but just try to get people that are interested and involved in that community. Great. Thanks, Raúl. I'll quickly switch back to me. So yeah, just a note for us. You probably, if anyone's been on our past webinars, we've been talking a lot also about post Black Friday and automating the rest of that customer journey. So Raúl shared a lot of really good points. But yeah, we launched our Flow Builder, which is a workflows, a few weeks ago. And that lets you set up multi-step automations where you can do a lot of the things that Raúl talked about. So you can reward and celebrate your repeat purchasers, get them to become brand ambassadors, sharing reviews or sharing their referral links. And then you can also turn first-time customers into loyal fans with a lot of that brand stuff that Raúl was talking about. Sharing your social content so they can get involved in your community or just on your Instagram page. And then more on that, you can use that past purchase data to tailor offers with the workflows like cross sells and upsells. This is just a screenshot of something you can do. It's a welcome series, and here you can split your welcome series by customers and non-customers. For non-customers, you can give them a discount, and for customers, you can let them know, do more brand building and get them to be involved on socials or just get familiar with your brand. So yeah, if there's any questions from this webinar, you can reach out to Raúl at ReferralCandy. He shared his email there. You can also reach out to us at support@smartmail.com. For everyone that watched the webinar as well or signed up, we'll be sending out a recording. And yeah, one offer from SmartrMail as well. So you can use the code Black Friday BFCM50, which you can get up to $50 off your first month, plus free migration assistance if you're currently on another email platform. And I just want to encourage everyone to check out our BFCM or Black Friday Hub. It's just the top link on our website on smartmail.com. There's a lot of great resources there. This webinar will be hosted there along with our original webinar and any upcoming partner webinars that we'll do leading up to Black Friday. And there's an app bundle there as well. So you can get deals on SmartrMail. ReferralCandy also has their 60-day free trial, and I believe even $50 off your first month there. So yeah, check out that app bundle, and you should have everything you need from the hub and there to really succeed this Black Friday. So yeah, thanks so much, Raúl, and we'll end it there. And thanks everyone for attending.
That's good. Thank you.